Hey there, we are moving on to Unit 6, which really could have been combined with Unit 5, but we were on up into Section 5.7, so I wanted to kind of cut that off and move on to Unit 6. And we're going to be talking about triangle similarity. Now, in Unit 5, we talked about triangle congruence, where we had to have, all three angles are congruent and all three sides are congruent. But what makes triangles similar and what is similar? All right, so similar triangles have the same shape, but not always the same side. The reason why I put not always is because if we know triangles are congruent, same size I meant, if we know triangles are congruent, we then can say that they are also similar. Okay, so that's that little nuance there. But to say triangles are similar, most often it's just they have the same shape, but they're not the same size. And what does that really mean? That means that all corresponding angles are congruent and all corresponding sides are in proportion. So like in this red and blue triangle, A would be congruent to D, B would be congruent to E, C would be congruent to F, which I have right here, okay? But your side lengths, AB, would be proportional to DE. And then BC and EF, and AC and DF. And I have all of that written here. Your similarity symbol is this little squiggle. And then this is your similarity statement, and the order still does matter like it does with congruent statements. And we're going to talk more about what it means to be in proportion. But if we know all of these 6 things, that the corresponding angles are congruent and that the ratios of the side lengths are in proportion, like when I divide AB, DE, if I knew the side lengths, it would equal the same as if I divide the length of BC and EF, which would equal the same as if I divide the side length of AC and DF. So those are all in proportion. So go ahead and pause me and finish up this note card. All right, now we're going to move on to an example of a similar triangle. So are these triangles similar? So we have to check first that all the corresponding angles are congruent. So looking at the figure, angle A is congruent to angle D. They're both 30 degrees. Angle B is congruent to angle E. They're both 120 degrees. Angle C is congruent to angle F. They are both 30 degrees. So check mark. All of the corresponding angles are congruent. Now we have to check that all the corresponding sides are in proportion. So what does that mean? I need to check AB, the ratio of AB to DE. So that would be AB to DE, which is 3/12, which as a decimal is 0.25. And what I have to do is make sure that all of the other corresponding sides have a ratio of 0.25. And that means that they're all in proportion. And they do. So BC to EF is 3/12, so that's 0.25. And then AC to DF is 6/24, which is 0.25. So all of these have the same proportionality constant. They have the same ratio. And because they do, that means that they are all in proportion. But let's just say I got like a 0.34 right here. Then you would say no. It might look like they're similar, but guys, drawings are not to scale unless they tell you that they're to scale. So you cannot assume. But because all of these have the same ratio, we can say that the sides are in proportion. So I've got all of it happening. And since all of this checks out, we can conclude that the 2 triangles are similar. Similarity statement has to be in the right order. So ABC triangle is similar to DEF. Pause me and finish up note card 176. All right, so just like with congruent triangles, when we did that in section 5.5, we learned that there were some shortcuts. And so there's 5 congruent triangle shortcuts that we learned last week. But for similar triangle shortcuts, there's 3, okay? And, we're just doing an example where we knew all 6 things, but there are some shortcuts. And so this is just a slide that talks about all of that, so you can pause and read this if you'd like. But we're going to move on to note card 177, which is the actual shortcuts. I just took the things on the bottom and put them here. There's 3. There's side-side-side similarity, there's side-angle-side similarity, and there's angle-angle similarity. And the way you write these, and I wanted to do this with you so you could see, is, okay, so side, 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 and the similarity symbol, side, angle, side, and the similarity symbol, and angle, angle, and the similarity symbol. Of course, you could write out the word similarity if you wanted to, but on your homework, that would be all you have to do, or just write it out if it's easier because you're going to be typing on Kami. All right, this video is about over, so go ahead and pause and finish up note card 177.